Hello everybody, welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase. My name is Austin and today we are going to bring you guys another KotLC ship war video. We haven't done one in a long time, so I'm definitely excited to hear what you guys think about the ship war. Last night I posted a poll basically asking who do you ship with Sophie, and I had a bunch of different options, and I told you to comment down below who do you guys ship with Sophie. So I got a lot of responses and I collected some of the comments down below, and I'm going to be talking about them in this video, and we're just going to be discussing the KotLC ship war through your guys' ideas and mine. So if you guys are excited to dive into the KotLC ship war, make sure to drop a like down below and also comment down below what is your side. Who do you ship with Sophie? If anyone, is it Keefe, Fitz, or do you just think she's single? Or even any other characters? I would love to hear down below in the comments, and you might have a chance to be featured in the next ship war video. And also make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 11,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys help us out and check down below if you guys are subscribed, because it would really help us out. And if you ever need anything more KotLC content other than our channel, make sure to check our links in the description. We have a bunch of different stuff that you guys can check out. But yeah, let's get straight into the first comment. Alright, this first comment is by Book Lover, and this person says that I ship Sophie with Keefe. At first it was Fitz, but then he started to treat her differently and have anger issues, and Keefe obviously liked her. In addition, Fitz and Sophie already broke up, and it was clear that Sophie was done with him. I also think that Keefe needs Sophie more than Fitz does because of his bad family situation, special ability, and a bunch more things. In conclusion, I think that Sophie really does need to be with Keefe, and that if she's not going to be with Keefe, he needs to have died first and Sophie meets another person she hasn't seen yet. I definitely agree with you about obviously with Fitz and the anger issues and the breakup. Obviously we know that there's probably a very unlikely chance that they're getting back together. Obviously in the last book we saw that Sophie and Fitz kind of reconciled and they're kind of maybe back to being friends again. But I don't think they'll ever be able to get back to the romantic state of the relationship because it just would be too awkward, and right now they're trying to focus on the big battle ahead because of, you know, the Neverseen's gonna be coming after them after Sophie burned their Neverseen storage house. So we're gonna definitely see a lot more focus on the plot rather than the love story. And while Keefe's away, it's only gonna make Sophie more wanting towards Keefe rather than Fitz, because she's gonna want to go find Keefe and she's gonna want to go be with him. But yeah, I think Sophie's definitely done with Fitz, so definitely open the door to Sophie and Keefe, because Keefe obviously likes her. We already know that from the short stories, from the book, from everything. We know that Keefe likes Sophie, and you know, a lot of things have gone wrong in his life. He's got a bad family, bad parents, all that. He has, you know, a new weird ability, and he's trying to discover stuff, so he's definitely in a bad place. So he would definitely need someone to care for him, such as Sophie. And I do agree with you, like Sophie really does need to be with Keefe, because I think that would be the perfect pairing, just because of how, you know, Sophie and Keefe both have their problems, but they definitely both care for each other and help each other battle through these problems. So I definitely think that when Sophie goes out to find Keefe, then hopefully that maybe something happens between them and they maybe get into a relationship. But thank you for sharing your side of the story, Book Lover. Let's get on to the next comment. Alright, this next one is by Elor, and this person says, I've always been a Sokeefe shipper, but now I think it's better if Sophie stayed single. Why? I don't want Keefe to do something reckless and hurt her. Even though she is a fantasized character, I want what's best for her. I think until she's a bit older, it wouldn't make sense to date someone with everything going on. Sophie is very brave and courageous. I don't think she needs a man in her life at this time, but who knows? Thank you for the comment. I definitely agree that Sophie staying single, I mean, it wouldn't like affect me personally, because I don't really care who she ends up with. If she ends up with anyone, I would want her to end up with Sokeefe. But if she doesn't end up with anyone, I'm fine with that, because just like this person said, there is a lot of stuff going on in her life. She has the big battle against the Neverseen ahead, has to make plans with the Black Swan. She has to go find Keefe. She has to do this and do that, and she has so much stuff on her plate. So in her timeline, you know, in her time of the day, would she be able to even have time for Keefe? I don't know. It might just be better for the series as a whole if Sophie did stay single, just so that we can get more emphasis on the plot, and then we get rid of this love triangle. I don't know. I think that might be true. And we do know that Keefe does a lot of things recklessly. He's already like joined the Neverseen, and he's, you know, ran away from home multiple times. He is kind of like a curveball. Like, we don't know what's gonna go on with Keefe. Will we ever even see him again in the series? So we don't know. He's always doing reckless things. But we do know that Sophie truly cares for him. But we just don't know what Keefe's gonna do. And obviously Fitz, Sophie really can't go back with Fitz just because they broke up and there was anger issues and there was a lot of things said that can't be unsaid. So I agree, she is a little bit young, so maybe once she's a little bit older and they defeat the Neverseen, then maybe she could date either Keefe or Fitz, but I think Sophie being single is fine as well. So thank you for the comment. Let's get into the next one. Alright, this next one is from Jocelyn, and this person says, I've shipped Sokeefe from the start, honestly. I recently just read the series, and it just showed me even more why. The way they care for each other and have been through so much with each other just cannot be topped. I can totally see why people would like Sophitz though. I really like the idea of it. But Sophie and Fitz aren't meant for each other in that way, in my opinion, and that's okay. Another thing is that Sophie usually feels like she can't be herself around Fitz, or feel like she'll be judged. With Keefe, it's the opposite. She tells him everything because she knows that he trusts her. In the bio-parents ordeal, Keefe supports Sophie and only helps her with what she's comfortable with. If she doesn't want to deal with it, they don't. Fitz, on the other hand, just wants to fix the problem, which Sophie obviously wasn't comfortable with. Sophie feels like she can't do anything romantic with Fitz when Keefe's around, which, if you ask me, is kind of a red flag. And as a whole, the entire Sophitz relationship was a super toxic one. Even though Sokeefe has many flaws, don't get me wrong, they just have a bond that can't be like any others. Their relationship goes way beyond the surface, unlike some of Sophie's other friends. In conclusion, I feel like Sophie's just works so well, and I really hope this endgame. Thank you so much. I couldn't put this ship in better words. I definitely agree with you on all this. If you're not comfortable in a relationship, then it shouldn't work out, and that's basically what Sophie felt probably 50% of the time when she was with Fitz, because Fitz was always pushing her to find out who her biological parents were so that she wouldn't be a bad match. Fitz can't be a bad match. He's a backer, and he has to hold this high standard and legacy, which makes him not able to, date Sophie if she is a bad match. And that just made Sophie uncomfortable. And when we saw Keefe deal with this situation, he was way better. He was just like, do you want to know your biological parents? He was just like, if you want to know, then you should go search. If you don't, then don't search. He was just comfortable with whatever decision that Sophie made, which was a lot better than what Fitz had handled the situation. I think that Keefe's support overweighs Fitz's support, even though, Fitz was the first elf that Sophie ever saw. But Keefe still, in the first book when they met, they just had a great relationship, and they've, maintained it throughout the series, and that's why I think that Sokeefe is good. And of course, as this person says, there are problems with Sokeefe, obviously, with Keefe always leaving and kind of being a little bit reckless. But still, just in the end game, I think that Sokeefe is going to be just the best ship no matter possible, just like this person says, because we can see there's so many glaring red flags with the Sophitz ship that this person has pointed out, and especially with the example of the biological parents. But a relationship is really built on trust, and if you're always arguing with someone and you're not comfortable with that person and there's anger in between the two, then that's not going to be a good relationship compared to the one in which Sophie and Keefe have, in which has the trust, which just automatically makes it better. So thank you so much. I actually couldn't say this in better words. So thank you so much, Jocelyn. Let's get into the next one. This one's next up is by Keeper, and this person says, I ship Sophitz because I think Sokeefe is toxic. He's overly dependent on her, so there's a clear power imbalance. This is our first Sophitz one, and actually the only Sophitz one I could find at the time of recording this video. But the reason that this person thinks that Sokeefe is toxic is because Keefe is overly dependent on Sophie, and there's a clear power imbalance. I don't think that Keefe's overly dependent on her, as Keefe literally left the elven world and we have no idea where he is. So I don't know if he's overly dependent on her. I think that he just truly cares about her, and we obviously know that he likes Sophie, so maybe he is dependent on her a little bit, but I don't think it's that much, because I just think that he cares for Sophie very much, and that's why he might seem to be that way, but I don't think he is that much. But you do have a good point, so you might be right that Keefe may be too dependent on Sophie, because now Sophie's gonna go out looking for Keefe, and she always has to save him and get him out of the never seen, and she's always definitely trying to get Keefe out of the mistakes he does. So I guess you might be right on that one. He is a little bit reckless at times. So thank you guys so much for all the different comments, everyone who commented on the video. We might do a part 2, so make sure to comment down below your theories on that community post or on this video if you guys want a chance to be featured in the next one. But let's get to the outro. Alright guys, make sure to drop a like down below if you guys did like this ship war video. I love talking about Sokeefe and Sophie. And remember guys, comment down below, who do you guys ship with Sophie in this ship war? I would love to know. I'd love to read all your guys' different comments. And remember, you have a chance to be featured in the next video if you do leave a comment, and it explains the ship very well. And lastly guys, make sure to subscribe down below to the channel. And we know that only like 20 or 25% of you guys are subscribed, so we know that a lot of you guys are out there not subscribed. So if you guys could help us out and click that subscribe button down below, that would help us out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I was Awesome from the KotLC Fanbase. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, and peace.